Hello? Um. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Making sure everything's working. Alright. I'm doing another animate stream. Um. So far, I just got done today. I did a use animation today, which is really cool. I think it's really nice. Nothing too crazy, a little simple. Um. I think something that's a little interesting though is that the next animation we have to do, looking at my notes and postcards here, um, we have to do chatting. We have to do chatting before 12 o'clock today. That is the goal. Do chatting before 12. That is the goal. Alright, so we can either make an entirely new animation, a character model for this, or we can look through our frames here and see if we could find a chatting one that looks close to it. I think the closest we're going to get to a chatting is frame 1 idle. Of course. Um, frame 1 idle is most likely what we're going to be using. I'm going to pull up YouTube chat. There we go. Okay. Like I said, first frame of the idle animation is going to be our next frame. We are currently at 60 frames with this character. With Kyle the Crocodile, we have officially hit 60 frames. I don't want the characters going over 100 frames. I know it might be different for different characters, but this character in particular, I don't want to go over 100. Because going over 100 would just look really weird. So I don't want to go over 100, but if we have to, we have to. Currently we're at 60. From literally from the use the store animations, we've reached that far. Um, so with this one, how the chatting is going to work is, so I have a friend of mine that came up with a really good idea for this mechanic in the game about a buddy system, and I said that's great, but the thing is there is a battle mode and a story mode to my game. I don't want the characters to physically be an asset or an issue in the story mode. So I would rather them be more of a thought bubble. And so I thought about it and I'm like, wait a minute. Wouldn't these characters be really good if they were this? And so what I was thinking is, if you've ever played the Splatoon 3 or the Splatoon 3 DLC, where you play as Agent 8 or something, and you help Marina and Pearl. Pearl's a drone the entire game. So the idea is that we are going to turn all the characters into drones, and depending on who you play, depending on what they say, now depending on what they say, you can kind of put two to two and get together, and you get something that could be really cool or something that's really bad, and or something that's really funny. It just depends on who you pick. So like if I went to go play Dave the Duck and I have Kyle the Crocodile as my partner, I don't think I don't know may or may not. Kyle the Crocodile might comment on some things that you do or towards other animals or just towards the environment around. He might say a couple things that are different than what Tyler the Tiger might say or Gavin the Goose. So that's the idea. The idea is to make these characters under 100 frames, and I think I'm gonna have to add this to the list, but I think I'm gonna have to make a drone for every for everybody. Or I might make a drone, like a separate sprite sheet for the drones entirely. But this is the idea, which I'm really happy about, and I'm really excited because this is really cool. We are almost done with this character. I need to get everything done by Tuesday because I want to have him imported into Unity by Tuesday so I can see if he actually works. And if I can keep the schedule up, then I can have almost everyone done by like October, maybe the end of October. I might have everyone done, and then by the November I can actually do a lot of asset stuff. So we'll see, we'll see. But right now we have to worry about making a chatting animation for Kyle here. Now, what I had in mind was I had this idea that he kind of lifts his head up a little bit, or he kind of moves his head back and forth while his mouth is moving, but he looks in the direction of the buddy. So in this sprite, or in the logic of the game, the drone, let me just do an example here. The drone will be like right here, and if that's the case, he's gonna be looking that way, right? So if he's looking this way, his eyes are gonna be over here. They're gonna be looking, over there. So it's interesting. So we got these guys here, and the drone's gonna be here. This drone is whatever, yada yada. He's gonna be looking over here, and his mouth will be going up and down, So that sounds like the game plan. I don't know what else we're gonna do. I'm literally might just make his idle animation the chatting animation, or I might just do an entirely new thing. I think I'm gonna do an entirely new thing because I did it with everything else besides the running and the walking. I really recycled the walking with the running, which doesn't really collect as well, but it works. Anyway, so let's start with this. We need him to move his head back, so we're gonna do a lot of wand work here. So let's see here. We need to get a good picture of his head. Some neck in there. There we go. Alright, let's see here. So let's see, we need his neck to go up like this. That's pretty good. And then we need to move his mouth down by one. Yeah. And then we can put in teeth. He has a particular set of teeth that I like to give him. And then I normally fill it in with the darker red. This doesn't feel right, so we'll just do a little bit of that. Nah. Yeah. That feels right. That feels better. So that's first frame. Do we want anything else to move? What about body? What can we move on his body that we want him to move? We can give him entirely new hands. I think that's the play. Let's do it. So we're gonna leave the start of the hand, of course, and we'll just work our way around it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So let's work our way around it. So this is gonna be the first frame. It's not gonna be the same frame, but it's gonna be first frame. So everything that we do here will benefit later. So I actually don't. When doing this character's hands, I have a lot to learn with animating in 8-bit or drawing in 8-bit. But something in particular that I've learned that is really hard to replicate is just the way the character moves and feels and kind of works. For this character in particular, it's really hard to use this character considering that this character doesn't, it's 2D, right? So this character's whole gimmick of being, this 2D crocodile is really funny, but I've kind of mastered a couple things with 2D animation when it comes to these kinds of models. Mainly, right? Mainly what you want to do is you want to make the palm of the hand kind of like that, right? Not too big, but enough to like make a good structure for the hand bit of it. We honestly couldn't move it over one, and it might look better. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Sure. Um, yeah, let's just do that. So there's his palm, and then we're gonna do kind of like a speech, like shooting out speech bubbles, but it's not gonna be speech bubbles. It's gonna be like lines, like speech lines. And he's just going to use that. So I think first frame he needs to look forward, then he looks back up, and then he looks back down, reversing the frame. Um, I don't really want him to talk to the left a lot. I don't want him talking to the left a lot. I'd rather him talk to the right a lot more. Which is fine. We can only, honestly, I'm really tempted to just do a talking, but only to the right, because it just makes sense that the character of everything will only be always behind your head. And I would rather him just look in the way that you're always supposed to be looking instead of turning around and looking, because if you do that, then you kind of mess up like the geometry a little bit. So this is a perfect spot for him. So let's do that. So he's looking this way first frame. He's perfect eyebrows, the good mouth, the good arm. We can do a little animation with his tail. I think maybe a little bit of a lasso tool here, and I want to say maybe slightly up, like right around there. We just slap that right back on. Yeah, there you go. And then you just, to fix his tail, it's pretty simple. It's a okay pattern. The pattern is just to make sure the green touches the green and don't let the dark green screw with the mess. So the light green needs to be doubled, and the dark green, it needs to be singled. So what that means is how this right here, this is called a double. You're doubling, double. You're doubling this. So what you need to do is you need to come down here. You need to kind of double, but not double all the green, and make sure that he has that nice protective coat of the iron green on him. Give him another spike just to make it feel natural. There you go. Sometimes you get stuff like this. If that's the case, if it looks not right, just fill it in. See, that looks like his town. Sometimes you might have to thicken it down on the middle bit, but it's neat. Pretty cool. That's a lot better. Yeah. Okay. Alright, next frame. Alright. Next frame here. Let's start with the head first. Starting with the head. We need his head to go back down. Almost to what it was in this position. Almost to what it was in this position. So, I actually don't know exactly how it looked, but I'm screwing up here. Hang on. That's better. We just have to pretty it up every time. Sometimes lines like this don't always work out. So kind of making it a little better in the back is nice. Now we're gonna try doing some of these. Making sure we get along the top here. Okay, we kind of janked it up, but let's do the teeth. We need the top. No, we don't. We need the bottom lip. There we go. Bottom lip stuff here. Down to the jaw. See how his mouth is closed and it's open and then it's supposed to get bigger? Right? I like that. So we're just gonna do frame by frame with his jaw. 'Cause it just seems right. It's the right thing to do. Yeah. And then the hand's gonna go down in the second frame, so literally just outline the arm here. Go down. Oh shoot, wait. Okay. I gotta remind myself to keep doing that. Then his tail. We're gonna do right here on this white spike and down. And then we're just gonna kind of bend it back like this. Right around here. Kind of set that into place. Here we're gonna round it out. Sometimes extra green is better. You know, I got a text message today from my uncle who went to Nintendo World in Orlando this week. It's one of my dream places that I want to go to in my life. He went there. He says he should have came, and I'm just like, I didn't have the money to go. He wanted me to pay my way, and I didn't have the money to go. I said I couldn't go. But he sent me those pictures. I was kind of upset. I was a little mad. I was just like, would have been nice to go. It would have been really nice to go, but you know, I have classes in college that I gotta attend to, and it's not like I could have just gone and not have a PC or a computer to do college work. So I wasn't even physically or mentally prepared for anything like that. So I'm not too mad about it. However, I did tell him that I will go there one day. One day I'll go there. I hope I do. It's one of my dream places. Still kind of mad about it though. Not gonna lie. But what can you do? You know? What can you do? One day I'll go there with my best friend, my Nintendo bro, and I'm gonna geek out because he's already gone. But I'm gonna geek out when I go because I'm a Nintendo fan. So yeah. little thick on the chin, though. Oh, we're not on the right frame. Shit. Shit! What the fuck did I just do? All right. So we got the chatting done. I mean, it's pretty good. Honestly, I could make it longer in some bits here. I think it would be easier if I made this these two frames a bit like a second longer. So you do that, you just copy these two frames, and then let's see if it plays. Okay, maybe a little faster on the second frame here. No, double the frames on all. So 2 frames on all of them. Started getting 60. You know what? I'm kind of okay with that. Allows for more dialogue to come through. Yeah, I'm okay with chatting. Chatting is pretty good. I'm not upset with that one. That one I'm genuinely happy about that. Genuinely happy that he's chatting or trying to talk. I think it's pretty good, honestly. Not too bad, but whatever. Let's just let it run here a little bit. I need to see, like, you know what? I'm genuinely happy with that. I think that's great. Only took me 30 minutes to get this thing whipped out. I think the longest animation by far that took me the most is um jumping? No, jump is a mess. I didn't really like the jump. I think running took me the longest because I really had to. I wanted to make it different from walking, so I kind of just like messed around with a lot of leg animation. I mean, obviously you can tell that like frame 30 is literally pulled this from the second frame of the walk animation, but like the only reason why was because I was able to bend the leg. That's the only reason why I took it. I'm genuinely happy with the chatting, honestly. Yeah, let me just get another rundown with it real fast. I can maybe put, like I said I was gonna do, I should probably put the speech bubbles coming from it. So like the speaking text. So we can start with like three like this, and then I should probably onion it. Yeah. Wait, that's gonna hit each other. Shoot, 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 shoot. Nah, it's okay. We can form it out a little bit, and then next frame. Maybe how far away was it from the other frame? It's like 2 blocks away from his nose, so. Oop, wrong button. Do 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 do. Something like this. There we go. And then third frame, same exact thing, but we're getting a little bit tougher. Uh, and then have it go back down. It's three. Yeah. Okay, I added lines to it now. It kind of looks better, honestly, with the lines. It does. Now I just gotta animate the eyes. So in this frame, we're just gonna erase it for right now, right? Where do we want? Where do we want him to look? We need to we need to make him start looking back this way and up. So we can go. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then fill that in. So we did it what? Here and up. Right? Yeah. What is that at? It's 2 away from the top, so. And this is what? Let's see. This is 1 from the top. Again, back from the 2 from the top, so. What do we want? Let's get that and that together. So, 2 top. Alright, let's get the. Oh, wait. Let's just get the yellow paint out here and just wipe. Oops. Alright. So 61 and 36. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Do I have that in the right? Okay, 61, 36. I mean, it's technically in the same spot, just like a little different, because the head's down. So then, what was the eye at? Just underneath the white bit, so wipe it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doo -doo. And then back to normal. And then we do the same thing again. White it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And double like that. 61, 65, 65, 61, 65. Okay. And then oh shoot, I don't have YouTube chat. There you go. And then I made it 1 up from the top. There you go. Now I feel a bit better about it. Okay, I fixed it. Now I have his eyes animating and his mouth moving and animating. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I like it a lot now. That's better. Really, really um, really like this bit here. Alright, well, that's all I have for today, and then I'll get back to you tomorrow about the last two animations. So, yeah, I'll see you all later.